Hello everyone and welcome to Lisa's Creative Home. Today I have 4 Halloween DIYs. DIY number 1 is an adorable little ghost with his little black umbrella for the rainy nights. For this DIY, we're going to need some of Dollar Tree's champagne glasses, a snow globe, some cheesecloth, some fairy lights, some Elmer's glue, and some black fabric for his eyes. I just started by taking apart the snow globe. You won't need the screw-on lid, but you will need the plastic insert. I just poked a hole in the middle of that. That fit perfectly on top of the champagne glass. Now I'm just going to feed the fairy lights through the hole down into the champagne glass, and then we're going to put the battery pack and the rest of the lights in the snow globe. And then we're just going to put the snow globe on top of the insert piece. It fits a little snug, but it does fit. Now I'm just taking the piece of cheesecloth and fitting it over top of the snow globe just to see how much I need to cut off. I then folded it in half and folded it in half again. Now that I have the cheesecloth folded, I'm just going to cut the edge in a curve. Now I'm just going to see if the cheesecloth is long enough for the ghost body. Now I'm going to take some Elmer's glue and some water. I'm going to mix that together to thin out the glue, and I'm going to saturate the cheesecloth. Now that my cheesecloth is saturated, I'm just going to drape it over the body and adjust it to the way I like it, and then let it dry overnight. Now that our ghost is dry, we're going to add some black eyes. I'm just going to use the bottom of one of the black cat treat bags from Dollar Tree, but you could use black felt or any black fabric. Now we're going to work on his black umbrella. To make the umbrella, I just used a round basket and made a circle, and then I just cut it out of cardboard. To make the handle of the umbrella, I'm just going to be using a strip of wrapping paper, about 2 inches wide, 12 inches long, and a wood skewer. Now we're going to take the circle that we cut out, we're going to fold it in half, and you want to take something with a sharp edge and really crease your line. And then we're going to fold it in half again, crease the line, and then we're going to fold it again and crease the line. Now you should have a triangle shape, and we're going to cut the bottom of the triangle. Now we're going to unfold the circle, and we're just going to recrease all the folds so it looks like an umbrella. Now that you've creased all your folds, you're going to unfold it. You're going to make one cut, overlap the 2 edges, and hot glue it into place. And then I just gave both sides of the umbrella a coat of black chalk paint. And now I'm going to work on the handle for the umbrella. I'm going to take the piece of wrapping paper that I cut, and then I'm going to wrap it around the skewer as tight as I can. Once I get it tightly wrapped around, I'm going to hot glue it into place. Once I have the wrapping paper glued into place, I'm just going to remove the skewer. And to give the handle a little texture and make it look a little creepy and spooky, I'm just going to take some hot glue and kind of run it down the side, kind of wiggling back and forth as I do. And I'm going to do that on all sides of the handle. And then I just bent one end of the handle into a hook shape. Next, I just gave the handle a coat of black chalk paint, and I hot glued it to the top of the umbrella. Once the glue on the umbrella was set, I just hot glued it on one side of the ghost between the folds of the fabric. Next, I decided to trim a little off the bottom of the ghost because it was a little too long. I also decided to attach the base of the ghost to a little wood plate just to make it a little more sturdy so it wouldn't fall over. I really liked how it looked by adding the plate. I think it made it look a little more high-end. And to finish up this sweet little ghost, I'm just going to add some distressing to the bottom of the cheesecloth. I just love how this little ghost turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. DIY number 2 is going to be a little haunted house with a front yard with a little skeleton friend. The first thing we're going to do to create this little haunted house is we're going to take 2 of the wood haunted houses from Dollar Tree, the wood planks, and some Jenga blocks, and some black paint. I'm going to give all the wood pieces 1 coat of black chalk paint, and you're going to need 20 of the Jenga blocks. Now that all of our black pieces are dry, we're going to assemble the house. The first thing I did to assemble the house is take a wood plank, and I hot glued and wood glued 4 Jenga blocks. You can see here I'm putting 2 on each side, and I'm going to make 5 of those to put the front and the back of the house together. Before we put the house together, we're going to add some cellophane to the windows. And to do that, I just cut a piece off for each side, and I just took the X-Acto knife and kind of traced out around some of the windows just so the edges wasn't hanging over. And you can see here the cellophane that I got had some little gold flecks on it. I thought it kind of gave it a spooky vibe for the windows. And to attach it to the house, I just used little dots of glue all the way around the edges. Now I'm going to work on assembling the house. I'm going to add a little wood glue and a little hot glue. And you can see here I'm just laying the edge of the Jenga blocks on the edge of the house on each side. Now that I've attached the bottom and the 2 sides, I'm going to work on the top part. When I did the top part, I wanted to make sure they were somewhat even because it was going to a peak. So I put them into place, and when I got them where I wanted them, I took a little bit of painter's tape and I just laid it across, so when I glued it into place, I had something to go by so they would line up even and straight and not be crooked. And now I'm just using my wood glue and my hot glue and the painter's tape and gluing them into place. Now I'm going to add some fairy lights before we add the back of the house on. And I'm just doing little dabs of glue back and forth on the edges of the inside of the house to attach the fairy lights. Now I'm going to attach the back of the house. First I'm going to add the wood glue, line it up, and then add the hot glue. Now I'm going to work on a keep out sign for the top of the house. I just took a wood plank from Dollar Tree and gave it a coat of walnut stain. Before we finish the keep out sign, we're going to add some cardboard to the back of the house to make it look a little more finished. I just traced it out onto some cardboard, and then I'm just going to hot glue it into place. Now we're going to finish the keep out sign. I just have an L square and a small screwdriver, and I'm just going to line it up, and I'm going to scrape some lines into the wood plank just to make it look more aged. Then I just took a white colored pencil and I just wrote out keep out on the sign. And now I'm going to use some red chalk paint and a small paintbrush to go over the letters. And then I decided to go over the letters with some black chalk paint so you can see a little bit of the black and a little bit of the red paint. And now I'm going to attach the keep out sign to the top of the house with some hot glue. Now I'm going to create a door for the house, and I just made one with small craft sticks, cut them to length, and then once I had them cut to length, I just took two smaller sticks and glued them at the top and the bottom to create a door. Once I got them glued together, I just gave them a coat of walnut stain. Then I decided to add some little window sills to the house. I just took the brown Jenga blocks, I distressed them with black paint, and then I hot glued them under each window. And once the door was dry, I just hot glued it into place. Now we're going to work on the yard for the haunted house. I'm going to use a piece of black foam board and 4 of the Dollar Tree wood planks. I just took the 4 wood planks, put them on the edge of the foam board, traced up each side, and then I moved the wood planks up about halfway, and then I traced the rest of the sides and the top until it formed a square. I wanted it big enough so the house would set behind the wood plank. After I got the foam board cut out, I lined up the wood planks on the foam board, put my house behind it to make sure it lined up and I had enough space, and then I just hot glued the planks onto the foam board. Now I'm going to take one of the self-adhesive rock wall tiles and I'm going to cut it down to size to fit over top of my wood planks. Now I'm going to work on some little flower pots to put in the front of the yard. These little cups I got from Dollar Tree. They were silver with little skeleton hands on them. I'm just painting them with black chalk paint. Once they dry, I'm going to take a dabber and I'm going to take some gray paint and I'm just going to dab all over them to kind of give them a concrete look. I wanted to get these little pots painted so I could let them dry, and then I'm going to go back to working on the front yard with the little stone path. Now I'm just going to take the wall tile and hot glue it onto the wood planks. I wanted the rocks to look a little old, so I took some black chalk paint, painted over the rocks, and then I wiped it off. And then I took some gray paint with a dabber and I just kind of dabbed all over the rocks to give them kind of an old aged look. And then I gave the pots and the rocks a coat of Mod Podge. Now I'm going to finish up the pots for the front yard. I'm going to take some floral foam, cut it down and put it in the pots, and then I'm going to add some little black trees, some Spanish moss, and some little pumpkins. Now I'm going to add some Spanish moss to the rocks. I just kind of pulled it apart and made it kind of thin. I left a space in front of the door to create a walkway. I wanted to add a little skeleton sitting in the front yard, so I'm going to take this little skeleton from Dollar Tree. He was part of Garland, and I just cut the little hoop off his head, and now I'm going to bend his knees and I'm going to hot glue those so they stay bent, because I'm going to set him in the yard leaning against the house. Now I'm going to glue my little pots with the little trees in them to each corner in the front of the yard. I'm also going to glue all my Spanish moss into place, and I'm also going to make 2 stacks of pumpkins and I'm going to glue them into place. I'm going to put one in front of the skeleton and another stack to the right side of the door. I also glued pumpkins onto each windowsill. And then I decided to add some Spanish moss to the peaks of the house. Then I took one of the sparkly spiders from Dollar Tree, I painted it with black chalk paint and added it to the keep out sign. And to finish up this haunted house, I just took some gray paint and distressed around the edges of the house and the windows. I love how this turned out. DIY number 3 is a little bat that is just too cute to be spooky. For this DIY, you're going to need a pair of socks, some pet bat wings from Dollar Tree, a plastic champagne glass from Dollar Tree, some black chalk paint, some fiber-filled stuffing, some small black rubber bands, and some small zip ties. We're going to start this DIY by taking one of the socks and stuffing the toe of it to form the head. We're going to take a zip tie around the neck, and then we're just going to take a pencil or something and shove the fiberfill into the head so it's nice and tight. Then we're going to take some rubber bands. We're going to pull some of the material up on each side and wrap rubber bands around to form some ears. Next, we're going to take the plastic champagne glass and the other sock. We're going to pull the sock up over the champagne glass. We're going to take a zip tie and we're going to zip tie around the bottom part of the champagne glass. And then we're going to pull it tight, and then we're going to pull the sock up until the sock is snug over the bottom of the glass. Now that we have the bottom of the sock tight on the bottom of the glass, we're going to pull that sock back down, and we're going to take the first sock that we created the head with, and we're going to pull that down over the glass. And then we're going to take the bottom sock and pull it back up over the champagne glass all the way up to his head to form a neck. Now we're going to attach his eyes. These little eyes I got at Hobby Lobby. They had them in green and in orange. I thought the green was perfect for the little bat. And then I just hot glued them into place. Now we're going to finish his ears. I just took some black felt. I cut out some little triangles. There was kind of a slight point at the bottom of the triangle, so it's a little easier to glue on. I'm going to put some hot glue in the middle of the triangle, and then I'm going to press it up around his little ear. I'm going to hold it into place until the glue sets, and then I'm going to add more hot glue and squeeze it together to make pointy little ears. Now that I have the ears attached, I'm going to add a little extra hot glue to attach the head to the body. Now I'm just going to add a coat of black chalk paint. Now I'm going to get the bat wings ready. It was a little pet costume I got from Dollar Tree. I just need to cut the straps off the back. Now we're going to work on his collar since he's a little vampire bat. I just took a black piece of felt, folded it in half, cut a V shape at the bottom, and then wrapped it around and folded it down, and it made his little collar. Next, I wrapped it around the front of him, overlapped the edges, and hot glued it into place. Now I'm going to attach his bat wings. There's a center part of the wings. I'm just going to put hot glue and attach it to his back. Next, I just added a couple little gems that I got from Hobby Lobby to the front of his vest. Now we're going to add a little mouth and teeth. I just made the teeth out of white felt, the little mouth out of black felt, and then I just glued the little white teeth to the little black strip and then attached it to his face. And the last thing that we're going to do for our little bat is we're going to add fairy lights to the front and back of his wings, and I'm just going to attach them with hot glue. And here is how our little bat turned out. It's hard to believe that he was made out of black socks. DIY number 4 is spooky skeleton candle holders with lighted pumpkins. We're going to start this DIY with 2 decorative plastic bowls from Dollar Tree, and we're going to give them a coat of black chalk paint. We're also going to be adding a coat of black chalk paint to some Halloween champagne glasses that we got from Dollar Tree. Once the paint is dry on the bowl and the champagne glasses, we're going to be gluing the champagne glasses to the bottom of the bowls. Next, I'm going to put a skeleton inside the champagne glass. I'm just going to cut the little hoop off the top of the skeleton, bend the legs so that the knees come up toward the chest, and then I'm just going to put them down into the champagne glass. I needed to make something fit on top of the champagne glasses to set my pumpkins on. I wanted something that would kind of curve up around the bottom of the pumpkin to hide where the battery is. So I just took some foam board, cut some circles out. Once I cut the circle out, I made little notches all the way around the circle. Then I bent the little notches up to form like a cup shape, and then I gave them a coat of black chalk paint. Now I'm going to distress the candle holders with some gray chalk paint. Next, I'm going to distress the foam pieces that I made for the top of the champagne glasses, and I'm just going to hot glue them into place. Now I'm going to work on the 2 pumpkins that I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the stem and I'm going to replace it with a wood stem that I painted black. And I just hot glued the wood stem into place. And I also added some moss around the base of the candle holder. I love how these candle holders turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you would like to see more Halloween DIYs, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you on the next one.